All right, pleased to be joined by our next guest, Rick Neuheisel, here with us on ESPN Fresno. Pleasure to have you. Good to meet you. Glad to have you on the show here.
It is a treat to be on ESPN Fresno. I've got a bunch of old fraternity brothers from Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno.
Yeah, Matt Defendis, Luke Palmo.
Okay.
Those were my guys. Mark Shue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all great guys. And I made a number of trips to Fresno to hang out with those guys.
Central Valley, you know, the beautiful Central Valley there, going through it, of course. You ever trek out there to the Central Valley from time to time with those fraternity buddies?
I was there many times while I was in college. I married a girl from Stockton.
Okay.
It was just up the road, right? And got married in that fair city, and so I'm very, very conversant with the Central Valley.
Well, it's good to be here, and we're good to be in California for another big game, Super Bowl 60, of course. And you're here getting ready for a new season with the U.S.F.L., right?
U.F.L.
U.F.L., that's
U.F.L.
right, the U.F.L., sorry.
The U.S.F.L. was my playing days.
That's right.
Yeah.
We had it all mixed up. But
Yeah.
the U.F.L. there, of course, the Dallas Renegades, right?
The Dallas Renegades. Bobby Stoops coached them for the last couple of years.
You're taking over the helm.
And I've taken over the helm. He told me how much fun he had, and I'm not surprised at all. I played in the USFL back in the early 80s, 1984, 85. Saw Doug Flutie here walking around. We played against each other back in those days. A guy by the name of Trump was the owner of the New Jersey Generals. I don't know what ever happened to him. But the bottom line is it was a great experience. And so when I got a chance to coach in the Alliance of American Football, another spring league, I jumped at it because I knew how much fun it would be. And while maybe not as much pressure as the college jobs that I had or the NFL job that I had, it was important to the players to get a chance to try to chase the brass ring, to get back to an NFL opportunity, or to at least leave football on their own terms.
Right.
And I enjoyed it immensely. So when this opportunity came right at the end of the year, I said, absolutely. And I get to keep my radio job. I get to keep my CBS analyst job for the college football season. It is a perfect way to keep my coaching chops honed, and also to hopefully be a part of getting a guy another chance to, as I said, chase that brass ring.
And is that kind of the rewarding part, right? To work with guys like that who are, could have an opportunity to crack back into it.
I told you about the Alliance of American Football. The Arizona Hotshots, our quarterback was John Wolford.
Right.
Wolford was a Wake Forest guy. I called him to tell him I wanted him to come and play in that league. He was on Wall Street.
Yeah.
He had given up. He comes back. He's been in the league now 6 years.
He won a playoff game.
He won a playoff game.
Right.
The kid is, I don't know, made somewhere around $25 million.
Yeah.
That isn't a bad deal.
Right.
So if we can have that kind of impact on another guy in this particular thing, how much fun will that be?
What is it like coaching? Because there's obviously a hunger and a fever to just be, take the opportunities that you have in the league that you're in, right? And these guys are uber competitive,
right?
Especially within its own roster. I got to imagine the competitive nature, the feeling of it. What is it like? Like, what are you imagining? Like you said, you coached in the other side of the things, but with this brand of this league, what do you anticipate the kind of level of competition you would get within your own roster?
Well, we're going to have it'll be great competition. The other 7 coaches, there's some guys getting their first chance to coach.
Yeah.
Ted Ginn Jr.
is
going to coach the Columbus team. You can imagine those Ohio State fans going crazy for him. Chris Redmond, who is Louisville favorite, right, is going to coach the Louisville Kings. That's fun stuff. A.J. McCarron down in Alabama is going to be at Birmingham. They're going to rally around him. So all those guys and their careers are beginning as coaches, right? Maybe this leads to great things at some level other than the U.F.L.
Yeah.
Then there are guys like me and Kevin Sumlin who have been there and done that, but we love this, and we get some of our old buddies to come back, and it's like putting the band back together, right? And by the way, there's a bunch of rock bands that are still traveling. So basically, we're going to play our greatest hits and see if we can't give another kid or two a chance to chase their dreams.
What about the coaching itch, right? Is it about the game days? Is it about the week ofs? What is it? What is it that
there's a book written by a guy who coached up in the Pacific Northwest. I think it was a Pacific Lutheran was the name of the school. His name was Frosty Westering.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book that was entitled "Make the Big Time Where You Are." And there's nothing more true than that. I've been at the Granddaddy. I've coached in the Rose Bowl, won it, right? Beat Drew Brees' Purdue Boilermakers.
Not bad.
I have been number 3 in the country, finished the season. I've been in a Cotton Bowl. I've been in a Fiesta Bowl. I've had those moments. I've coached in an NFL playoff game. Those are great moments, but this is as big time for me as any of that because it's about these individual stories and these individual journeys that now these guys are going to get a chance. And as Frosty realized, and hopefully other coaches will realize, if you are where your feet are, you can have a great experience, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
I want to ask you about one of your sons, Jerry, who got the opportunity. He got real famous with that UCLA team.
Yeah, with one of Fresno's famous guys, Tim Skipper.
That's where I'm leading into. The experience of that, right, and the whole nature of that kind of run where they were going on with Skip and Jerry, right?
It was incredible, and with my dad goggles firmly affixed, CBS did that game.
Yeah.
The first game, the two of them were going to collaborate, and Tim gave Jerry the right to call the plays and all that stuff, was the Penn State game. And I think they were like a 24-point underdog. And so CBS had chosen the game because there's such a fan following for Penn State. The television numbers would be good, even though we didn't expect a competitive game. And so they asked me, I'm one of the studio guys, will you come on the broadcast and kind of talk through a drive and give us some anecdotal stuff of Jerry, because they didn't anticipate an exciting game at all.
Yeah.
They just wanted to try to spice it up a little bit. Well, the drive that I come on for turns out to be 17 plays, turns out to be the third touchdown that they scored in the first half. And I'm like, am I being punked?
Are they giving me the right game?
Is this really happening right now? And I have had to apologize to the Penn State fans for a long time because I lost my journalistic, neutral. I was not Switzerland. I was all in on the Bruins that day, and it was one of those days dads remember.
Right.
It was monumental.
And that experience, of course, leading to Open Doors. Skip's now leading his own program at Poly. Your son's over at, Northwestern, right?
He's at Northwestern with Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
And David Braun brought those two guys in, and David's excited about what the offense can be. So, talking to Jerry, it's as happy as I've heard him in a lot of years. And, that adage about being a parent, you're only as happy as your least happy child. So all is well.
I want to ask you, because you've crossed paths with some of the Fresno State guys,
Pat Hill's one of my good buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Bulldog mentality.
When he gets we go up to that Pebble Beach golf tournament all the time, right? Yeah. And Pat gets in there and starts with those rugby songs. He's one of a kind.
Oh, he absolutely is. And I just want to, when you think of Fresno State, you see the Bulldog logo, right? Some people maybe not know where that is or anything like that, but there's a tight-knit nature to that fan base. And
I can verify this. I was just at your bowl game.
Yeah, the Arizona Bowl.
I went to the Arizona Bowl.
Yeah.
I live in Phoenix, and my son, Jack, worked with Tucker Meyer, who's on the Fresno staff right now. And so we went up and watched Tucker and sat with Tucker's family, and I can tell you that being in amongst the Fresno State fans was a treat.
Right.
You talk about a loyal bunch of Bulldogs, and it was an impressive, especially defensive performance that day. And I walked away going, college football is just fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to get fixed. But college football, maybe it's because it's idiot-proof, right? Because you put a bunch of young people out there that will love to compete, and you put them in a school where they're going to make all sorts of great friends, and they're going to have a relationship with their alma mater. Now we just need a way to want them to stay.
Yeah.
And to keep growing in those environments, because the soul of college football is the relationship between player and teammates and school.
Right.
And I just don't want it to be so transactional. But it was fun to watch the Bulldogs get after that. Was it the
they beat Miami,
the Red
Ohio.
Hawks? Yeah. Chuck Martin's team.
What's good about the Bulldogs, we've seen a lot of the guys stay. Coach Entz, Coach Matt Entz from the North Dakota State.
Well, he's from that tree of the North Dakota guys, Bison. Yeah. All you had to do is watch Game Day in Fargo, and you realize that that place loves college football.
Yeah. Bulldogs got a game against USC. We got to beat them at some point. I don't know. USC
One of the great games I ever watched
Yeah,
was Fresno State and USC with
iconic
Reggie
Bush run, right?
Yes. What was it, like 50-something?
It was crazy.
It was incredibly high scoring.
I think it was Pinniger quarterback.
I was coaching at Baltimore at the time.
Yeah.
I was coaching at Baltimore at the time, and as you know, 3 hours later there, right? And so the game came on night game.
Yeah.
So it was 1 a.m, and I was sitting there going, I can't sleep after that.
Locked in.
I can't sleep after that. That was an incredible game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I go back, Jim Sweeney.
Sweeney days.
I absolutely. He was the life of a party at all the Nike trips. Fresno State's got a rich tradition, and ought to be very, very proud of it.
Guys in the NFL, Devontae Adams.
Jeff Tedford speaks about it in reverent tones. It's a special place.
It's awesome, and think about
Kalen DeBoer speaks about
DeBoer too, right?
Yeah, Kalen and I have gotten to be friends. He had a wonderful experience there, so. Yeah, it's not lost on people that it's the soul of Fresno that comes out in that team.
Is there any? We're getting the Pac-12 now next year, and so the Pac-10. You know the Pac-10.
I cannot believe Allstate Insurance is not just taken up and said we're the sponsor, the title sponsor, given that every team in the league is a state.
Allstate, yeah.
It should be the Allstate Conference. I don't know who's missing out on that opportunity.
Is there any advice for Fresno State to take on the mantle of that conference now? You know the proud tradition of the Pac, and everything.
Here's what I love about the conference. As a matter of fact, I actually was involved for a bit with Washington State in their coaching search.
Yeah.
Everybody, to me, at least from outside looking in, looks similarly resourced.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be about a Texas Tech guy coming in there and buying teams, right? And that's not to knock what's going on in Lubbock. It's to say that this is going to be old-fashioned college football parity, like kind of a Big 12 situation.
Right.
Parity is going to exist, and now it's going to come down to coaching.
Right.
It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to recruiting. And to me, that's exciting. And for all those fan bases, and I know CBS is going to have a relationship with that league.
Yeah,
I can't wait to be on the call in some of that action.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be good. And I'll tell you what, the Bulldogs are the team to watch. A lot of good talent coming back to that group. It's going to be
exciting talent. Exciting talent.
Hey,
keep your eye on that Meyer kid on that defensive staff.
Oh yeah. I gotta get with them during the off season. When we get spring ball rolling in about a month, I think, or something like that. Real quick about this game, huh? I got to ask every guest about this game coming up on Sunday. Seahawks, Patriots.
Yeah.
What do you?
I hope it's as good as the first time we saw them in the Super Bowl.
I saw something like last 10 times these teams have played, it's come down to the last possession. It's back all the way to the 90s and the 80s or something like that.
So, to me, both of them kind of lead with their defense. I think both the coaches are defensive-minded guys. And so it's not surprising. This, to me, given what we've seen, and I understand that Patriots have been aided by the weather defensively in each of their last 2 games. To me, they're going to need Drake May's legs to be the equalizer here, because I do think the right team is favored. The Darnold story is one that resonates for me. The just perseverance.
Right.
I'm probably going to lean Seahawks, but if you tell me that Drake May is going to have 50 yards or more of rushing, I'm going to tell you that it'll be the Patriots again.
Is there something to, as Cam Newton walks by, is there something to just the second and third chances? These quarterbacks are starting to get a little more leap,
I think people are realizing that we were ridiculous to be casting people off after just one chance.
Right.
I mean, we were saying bust or boom in literally 2 years, and it was ridiculous. First of all, they're coming from systems that are completely outside of what the NFL system is.
Right.
And if the NFL coach didn't have enough wisdom or know-how to adapt what this kid did to their system, then you were at the whim of the kid being strong enough mentally to adapt to what you're doing,
right,
and then hopefully have the pieces in place to have something. I can be a heck of a quarterback, but if I don't have a receiver that can get open, because here's the difference between college and professional football. People get open in both leagues. In the NFL, they don't stay open.
Yeah.
So if you're not from a system that anticipates, you're going to struggle unless you've got somebody unique or you've got time to watch somebody and understand anticipation. I remember being in the San Diego Charger. This is back when the Chargers were in San Diego, in the camp. And Mark Herman, remember the old quarterback from Purdue?
Yeah.
He was the backup to Fouts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're watching, and he let a ball go, and I'm like, where's he throwing that? I'm standing behind the drill, and all of a sudden here comes the in, and he let it go, and he threw it to a landmark based on, the landmarks in college are different than in pro football. It just out 2 yards outside the hash, and the ball went over the linebacker level, and it fell right into Wes Joyner's hands. Right? And I'm like, okay, you got to talk me through that. He said, well, I saw the space where I know Joyner's going to be. I hit 7, and I stepped up once, and I just let it go. And I know Wes knows that's where it's going to be, so he takes care of his job, which is to shake the corner and be there by himself.
Yeah.
And that's anticipation. So here, I'm the young guy.
Yep.
I learned the throw, and now I've got it.
Right.
But if I don't have Mark Herman walking me through that, I don't learn that throw. I don't know that. Does everybody have a Mark Herman that's willing to share that throw? The coach never told me that throw.
No.
We look at it on film. We never talk that. This is all about how quickly you can assimilate the information and how it corresponds to the offense. I don't know how many coordinators Sam Darnold's already had.
Right.
But that's what we do. We throw these guys out, and their confidence gets so shaken. Now we're looking for the new guy because there's a newer, better version of it coming out of college the next year. I think the fact that college has had this revolution where people are staying longer has been good so that the Bo Nixes and the Michael Penixes of the world can come in and be ready to play at a higher level when they start. But you have to have time to assimilate all that sage wisdom that's out there. Brady, the fact that he got to sit behind Bledsoe a couple of years, and he's a savant learner, all lended to a guy that was 199th taken in the draft, being called the GOAT.
Great, that was great, wonderful insight on the quarterback position, and I can't wait to see it all play out from your perspective in the U.F.L. Right?
It'll be a treat.
When's that coming up?
March 28th is our opening game. We got the Houston Gamblers coming to Dallas. We play them in Frisco and Toyota Stadium, so that's going to be a blast to be a part of that. Luis Perez, he's got more career yardage. He's on our roster as a quarterback. I drafted this kid Austin Reed that was at Western Kentucky, led all of college football in passing.
All right.
So we got a couple gunslingers. We're gonna see if we can't make it really fun for the fans that come out and support us in Dallas.
Well, that'll be great, Rick, and we look.
You're
forward
welcome
to
anytime, my friend.
Absolutely.
Season tickets.
Welcome on the show here as always in Fresno as well. ESPN Fresno. So. Rick,
what did Harry S. Truman call the Fresno folks? Some raisin fellas, right?
We got the
great to be with my raisin fellas. Yeah. Let me say this. I love the Central Valley, and you guys are fantastic fans, so keep that up.
Absolutely. Rick Neuheisel here on 1430. Appreciate it as always.
See you, my friend.
All right, we'll take a break.